Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'll be sharing with you the things I admire about Japan. Yeah, I've had this question several times and everyone wants to know why Japan? What do you like about Japan? And I'm like, oh, there's a lot you don't know. And well, I won't say it's their fault or it's not their fault, but there's a lot about Japan that I think each and every one of us will admire. So I'm here today to share it with you. Yeah. So first of all, Japan is known as the land of the rising sun, and its national colors are red and white. Yeah. And it's a beautiful place to be. Yes. So I think basically everyone who likes sightseeing will admire something about Japan. So the first thing I admire about Japan is the fact that it's very safe, and in the Global Peace Index it's part of the first 10 with countries like Iceland, New Zealand. Yeah, so it's pretty much safe. So on a scale of 9 over 10, I would give them 9 because it's amazing. And in one of my videos, I will tell you a story of how I found my purse after about a week when it got missing in Japan. That should tell you how safe it is. And it was intact when I found it. Yes, so I will share that video with you guys. So yes, and with it being safe, you can walk at night without having to turn your head back and check if someone is after you. And that to me is so cool because you can stay out late at night and come back and not have to worry about who is going to follow you on the way, who is going to abduct you, hypnotize you, that kind of thing. You just do whatever you can. I mean, if it's at night, you have to go out. If it's at night, you have to stay out late. I think it's pretty fine. You can get home safe and sound. So I would say there's no perfect country if you ask me, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give them 9, as I've already said. Yeah, because I think they are putting in a lot to get the results they want. Yeah. The next thing I admire about Japan is the fact that it is neat. Read my lips, neat. You know, when I came, I was like, oh, maybe it's the airport that is neat. I mean, they will have some places that are not too neat. Yes, and there's an environmental index, and it's one of the top countries. And that amazes me because Japan is an island country and is prone to a lot of earthquakes and typhoons. So I wonder, how are they able to quickly recover from such earthquakes and typhoons and still get the country looking this neat? Because we all know the extent of destruction that an earthquake or a typhoon can cause, but they're able to recover within a very short time, and that's amazing. Yeah, and there was one time I actually went to the countryside and I was expecting, oh, this is countryside and there'll be some dirty places, but it was relatively neat to me. And all I really see on the ground are dead leaves. You don't see litter. And even these dead leaves become beautiful in autumn for you to take very beautiful pictures. And the pictures you take in autumn are stunning because there's no litter, it's just the dead leaves, and you can do your poses, you know. Yes, so it's a very neat country if you ask me. On a scale of 1 to 10, let's say 9.1. Yes, 9.1. So the 0.9, that should show you that there's still room for improvement. Yeah. The third thing I admire about Japan is that the buses, the trains, they are all on time, and that's so cool. I remember the first week when I arrived in Japan, I actually sat at the bus stop, took a picture of the bus schedule. I was not going anywhere actually, but I wanted to be sure that, do these buses really follow this bus schedule? So I sat there for a while. I checked the schedule. I checked, and they were all on time. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I mean, who does this? So that way you're not late for work, you can plan ahead. And if you have to go somewhere, you can check the time for the bus schedule in advance, know the time you want to leave, the time you want to arrive wherever you're going, and it's pretty cool. You don't have to worry about being late. Yeah. With their buses and trains being on time, I'll give them maybe a 7.5. Yes, 7.5, because in the case where there's like a natural disaster or something, um, they send messages actually sometimes. Yeah, sometimes they try. Yeah, that oh, the buses will not be working from this time to that time, so you can adjust your schedule. But sometimes it's that very day, and it's announced that in the morning that there'll be heavy rains, and you have to make room for it and all that. So yeah, the buses are relatively on time, and that's so cool. Another thing I love about Japan is their did I say love? Well, with this, I think maybe a love will do for this point. Is their toilets. Their toilets are spick and span. They are very neat. You know, there are sometimes you go to washrooms, not in Japan, but in places, and you're in a hurry to leave, not because you don't want to use the washroom, but because the place is making you actually uncomfortable, and you just want to even hold whatever you want to. Yes, because I mean, sometimes the stench, everything will just put you off. But since I came to Japan, I've really not had this as an issue anymore. I go to public washrooms in departmental stores, shopping malls, you name it. And the washrooms are neat, very neat. And I'm like, okay. I love the Total Washlet. It's a whole new level. It has room for hot water, for heating. It's so pretty. And it's really amazing. If you get a chance to use the Total Washlet, I think you should, because the technology involved is quite amazing. It can automatically open the seat for you, it can close it, it can flash, it has sensors to do all that. So that's pretty cool. And you have different buttons for water, for the front, for the back. It's so cool. And you just feel at home sitting on it, and you can even play music, so you don't disturb anyone with any sound. It's so cool. And another thing I love is where you wash your hands. With this corona pandemic, you realize that you need sensors in washrooms, or should I say sinks or faucets that are automatic, and you just have to put your hand to it, and it's sensitive enough to know. And I mean, that's virtually everything here. I've hardly seen one that you have to rotate and all that. You just sometimes have to lift it and put it down, and that's so cool because it reduces the contact you have with the facility and prevents you from, should I say, contaminating the place for the next person. And I mean, that is so cool. Their toilets are amazing. You even have a place where you can actually change your baby diapers. It has provision for people who are disabled. There are, should I say, what should I say? There are pillars you can hold on to get up. I mean, if you can't walk well, you can adjust a lot of things to suit you in the washroom, and that is so cool to me. I think it's actually maybe the first thing I really admire. It's a new environment, and you have to transition. It was quite tough, but I mean, it was not too difficult for me to adjust because the things here were well advanced. So the last thing I'll add for this part is the fact that laws work here in Japan, okay? And it's actually amazing how everyone does their best to conform to the laws that have been set, and you can actually see a vehicle stop its engine for you to cross. Yeah. And also, you can't just buy any drug at the pharmacy. For some drugs, like even antibiotics, you need a prescription. Yeah, you need a prescription to buy these drugs. You can't just walk into a pharmacy and say you want to buy antibiotics. Yeah, it's not done. It's never done. I think this goes a long way to curtail drug abuse, which is really a big issue in some countries. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Do well to like, share, and subscribe. If there are also any things you've seen or noticed about any other country that you admire, please do well to share it in the comment section. And also, if you've been to Japan before or you are in Japan and there's anything else you admire, please do well to leave it in the comment section as well. Thank you. Bye.